Hi all, right back with more Skies Above Britain. Uh, Playing Chapter 1, Patrol 1. This is my part 4 of the playthrough. Quick one. I noticed I took the altitude block away from this, but just watching back on I think it was part 2. But I felt like that when we moved this one to Lost Contact that it should stay on it. So I'm not quite sure why I thought that should be taken away. So I think that should still remain like that. I might have that wrong. I don't know what difference it might make or whatever. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. And while these are here, obviously they represent all these are at Lost Contact, and we're just at the step to try and get them back involved in things. So I'm not awfully comfortable with this part of the rules, so I'm going to take this carefully and slowly. You'll be glad to know. So there's some option. Let's just go with the sequence of play cards and see how they go about it. Right. So everything we've got is Lost Contact. So Lost Contact sections and independent RAF fighters must go to the RTB track, return to base track that is, or attempt chase. So we're not going to send anybody back to return to base. You will see that this must be an independent fighter because it's broken away from them. This is an independent fighter as well because it's the last one left. These are still all part of their section, even though they've lost one of their aircraft. So, and like I say, we're not going to send anybody back. So to attempt chase, we select a Lost Contact section or RAF fighter, roll 1 die for a section or 2 dice for a fighter, and select the lowest number rolled. Yeah, so if they're individual, it's a wee bit harder. And then you consult the chase table. If successful, roll another die and place section in indicated position on the interception map. If successful, roll another die and place... Right, okay. If an independent RAF fighter, place it in the bomber formation area. So the good thing about the independent is that they go straight to the bomber area here, whereas the sections are going to go out here then, I think. That seems to be what that says, doesn't it? Roll another die and place section in indicated position on the interception map. And this is the interception map. Right, good. Okay, and then if they fail, they just remain in the Lost Contact area. And I want to say that means that they can't do an awful lot. Can they still get attacked by fighters? Maybe. We'll see. If failed and intercepted by escort, draw a Luftwaffe advantage card for each section or fighter and go to dogfight. Intercepting escort is 109s unless the only unsuppressed station has 110s. So yeah, if we get intercepted, if we fail and get intercepted, I think it will be low. If we roll too low, we'll get intercepted as well as failing. Okay, what I'm wondering about here though is the reform bit. It's not mentioned reform there. It mentioned RTB, return to base. It didn't mention reform. And there's actually nothing there to say to suggest it, is it? Yeah, because just jumping down, I suppose that's why I need to keep an eye on things. Whether these things have been missed, maybe, or because it talked about return to base ? Yeah, they either must go to the return to base track or attempt chase. But we've also got this reform option here, which it doesn't talk about on the card there. So let me get that in the rules, I think. So here's reform in the rule book. This is on page 39. it says if it's a flight on the interception map, two sections in the same position and altitude may combine into a flight. Both sections must spend one fuel. That's not what we are looking at here. We're looking at a section. It says lost contact area fighters may join their section if it too is lost contact. Well, that does apply here. We're looking at the red section. The section spends one fuel to do this. So, yeah, I need to look up chase, I think. Because it looks like I can do this. Yeah, I need the rules for chase. Hang on. Right, so here's chase, page 37. During this phase, each lost contact formation and independent RAF fighter must either choose to make a chase attempt, return to base, or reform. That's missing off that card then. That's a couple of things I found missing off the cards, I think. Maybe I should bring this to attention and next time Gina maybe have a look at that and be able to add a little bit to it. Because I think it is quite important on that card to have RTB, chase, or reform. I think anyway, but so it says for reform, follow the same procedure explained in reform. A formation or independent RAF fighter can lose contact with the bomber formation and its interception map. This can happen as a result of combat against bombers, or dogfighting, or attacking stragglers. There are other ways it can happen as well. However it happens, chase is a mechanism that can get the pilots back on the interception map in pursuit of the raid. What I think I was looking for more there is just telling me to look at E, whereas where I looked first. I want to feel that if I do the reform, I don't think I can then carry on with the chase. But I'm not sure about that. So, I mean, right now, if I was to reform, spend an extra fuel to put red 3 back into its section, and they are both in the lost contact. Can I then carry on with that section and try and chase with the whole 3? I don't think I'm really getting the answer here. I think this is the first one I've came across that's stumbling me a little bit, because it doesn't really well, hang on, maybe it is clear here, Grant. If you read this again, it says during this phase, each lost contact formation and independent RAF fighter must either choose to make a chase attempt, return to base, or reform. So if we do reform, that to me tells me we can't do the chase. Yeah, I think so. I think we want to go chasing with them all. I think. Don't know if that's the best idea or not, but that's what I feel like. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, chase table. Doesn't. Oh, it is on the map. It is on the map. So I'm going to go through these left to right. Then we'll start with a single independent fighter there first, I think. Unless I see something that tells me that I'm maybe better not starting with that. No. So let's look at the card. To attempt chase, select a lost contact fighter, roll 1 die, or 2 for a fighter. So we're going to roll 2 die. And unfortunately the escort, well actually this makes it slightly easier for us. Escort is heavy, it's heavy 109s. Chase, roll 1 die for a section, 2 dice for RAF fighter, select the lowest number out of the 2. So we're going to be heavy, and we're going to be in the haze. So obviously clear would have been better there. So you can see that we've got a 6. However, there's a 1 to 3 that tells us we're intercepted. So if we roll a 6 or greater, we succeed. If we roll less than a 6, but more than a 3, we just fail and stay where we are. If we roll a 1 to a 3, we're going to be intercepted as well. And then if we succeed, for a section we'll roll again, and that's will come on the interception map there. If it's a fighter, no die roll, it just enters the bomber formation area. Okay, so let's do this for red, red 3. Let's roll the die. Now we've got to roll 2 dice for him, and we need a 6 or greater. Is that right? We definitely do not want a 1, a 3 or less. So let's come across here. And we're rolling 2 dice. So there's a red dice and a blue dice that come with the game. So just roll both of them. So we've got to pick the smaller number of these. So that means they've both got to be a 6 or above, you know. So here we go. I've got a 10. Oh, a 10 and a 12. How about that? That'll do. That'll do indeed. So that succeeds comfortably. So this gets to go in here. I'll just put him over there just now. Yeah, he gets to go here, and he doesn't get to go attacking anything as of yet. He doesn't get to pick. At least I don't think so. I think he just goes here for now. Yeah, he's going to go in here somewhere. I think it's just here though. And then once we start the bomber cycle, then we get to choose which direction we want to attack and what bomber we want to go for. I believe. I don't think I get to select just now where I'm coming in from. Hang on. Oh, it also says there that you may dissolve your section to allow its fighters to make their attempts independently. That basically meaning that they're coming directly in here. But you can see there, you're rolling 2 dice. I think I'd like to keep the rest of them together. So we're going to have a single attempt on that one as well. I'm just trying to see if it tells me. Success, fighter. Place the individual RAF fighter in the bomber formation area. This does not start a bomber round. The fighter must wait until the next entropy phase to attack. Yeah, because I remember watching a bit of Tim's playthroughs where there's a sort of, you can have a situation where this is here, other fighters can enter the bomber and carry it in a bomber cycle, and he's not involved. I think it depends where we come in. Yeah, you know what it is? I think it's if we come in from this bomber interception step, that takes us to the bomber cycle, which doesn't involve this guy. And this guy will only start being involved when we come to the bomber formation step and the entropy phase. Yeah, that's the bit when he can become available. Okay, so I don't think he gets to pick where he's coming in from just now. I think we need to deal with that later. So let's do the rest of these. So I'm going to do the other 2 as a section. But remember, they're not going to go directly on the bomber map. If they succeed, they're going to go out on this interception map. So what we got? Well, again, we need a 6 and not a 3. And this time it's only 1 die, so slightly easier this time. There we go. A 4. Oh, well, it's not a 1 to 3, but that's yuck. Right, so that just fails, and they just stay where they are. The red section. So let's do the yellow section. It's exactly the same. They need a 6. Right, get 11. Good. So we're now going to, because they're a section, we're now going to roll another dice on section, and if it's 1 to 2, we're going to be at port low. Okay. 3 to 10, it's going to be trailing low. 11 to 12, it's going to be starboard low. That starts making me think that maybe these shouldn't be sitting at the altitude then, because these represent these. Now, it's not to say that they couldn't at the moment still be at high altitude and they've got to enter the interception map at low. That could be, I suppose. Okay, so we're going to roll anyway on that. So ideally, yeah, the higher the number, the better here. 11 or 12, ideally. Oh, it's almost a 10. Well, that wouldn't have mattered. An 8. So it's trailing low. Trailing low. So these... Nah, hold on. Right, how do I do this then? Yeah, no, I'll leave them there. And what we do is grab the little... can I do that? Yeah, I think so. I'm just wondering here if... Let's just say that this had been a yellow fighter that had came from here to here. What I'm thinking about doing is now for the other 2 yellow ones, they need to come out here. So I'm thinking I'm going to place this little marker, but I suppose it represents a section, and the other individual fighter is not part of the section, so... Okay, so where was he going? Trailing low. Trailing low. So yeah, that goes there. At low altitude, like I say, even though this was showing them at high altitude, I dare say this, maybe this doesn't really make any difference. Maybe I don't need these on this. Maybe once they become lost contact, to get back into the game, they're going to be told what altitude they're going to come in at, I suppose. Yeah, okay. Right, well that's the yellow one, so now we're going to do the green section, which is 2 as well, 2 fighters. And again, we need that 6. There we go. 11, good. Right, and then again, we need to roll to see where they're coming in. So, higher the better. Oh, that's an 11, that's good. That's going to be starboard then. So starboard low. And for the green one, so again, I'm just going to use this wee section marker. This is my take on how it should work, I think. Hopefully I got it right. So starboard low is here. That's right. That was trailing, that's starboard. Yeah. So that's where they come in. And then finally we've got an independent fighter for blue. The one up there with low ammo. So we need to roll 2 dice and try and get a 6 for this one. So both these need to be a 6. Oh yes, again. 11 and a 7. Well, that's good. Probably bits up blue dice for now. So again, he can come in here on this map. Now, I'm assuming these are now not lost contact then. So I think I can flip this back and this back. That feels right. Not the red one, obviously, because they failed to chase. But these 2 are both on the map there, and these 2 are both in the bomber interception formation. Bomber formation area, I think it is. Bomber formation area. Okay, so things starting to happen a little bit better now. Okay, back to this chase card then. Well, I think all that's done now. We never, the one we did fail with 1, and it just says remain in lost contact area. And yeah, I mean, I've not took these off of here and put them in this lost contact area, which I said I was going to do, but you've got little markers for your sections there to say that they're lost contact. So as long as I'm aware of that, I think I can just leave these guys here. Yeah, I think so. I think that's fine. Yeah, just looking back down at these though, B flight here is now probably not lost contact anymore. I actually don't think I need to be using these now. I mean, we've got these taking their place. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these could be removed as well, but I'll leave them sitting there just now. I'm not doing any harm. So I think we're done with this chase card then. Yeah, so let's move on. Let's see what the next card does. Just looking at my sequence of play. It should be now asking if the patrol is complete, I think. Yes, there we go. So patrol complete. If all RAF fighters are on their return to base track or in fate boxes, the patrol ends, go to card 36 and initiate the RTB sequence. Right, well that's not the case, so if some RAF fighters are still in play, go to card 22 to continue the patrol complete sequence. So the patrol is not complete, so we move on to the next step, which is fuel. Each section spends 1 fuel, so shift the fuel cubes 1 space to the right on the fuel track. Yeah, this is the worrying part. So blue gets moved to there, green and red to there, and then yellow into there. Okay, that's the fuel step. So next we have escort recovery. Now that would just, if we happen to have suppressed this, then that would just be a case of removing that. Remove escort suppressed markers from escort station markers on the intersection map. None of that to do, so we move on. Escort exit. Right, I think this is a good thing for us. That means that they might go away. If playing a scenario that does not use the raid trap, skip this step. Well, we're not doing that. We're using the raid track. We're playing a campaign, so this does apply. Roll a die for each escort station marker, well we've only got the one, and compare the number rolled to one of the red numbers printed in the raid marker space on the raid track. Page 39 for this one. We're going to need this. Well there's... Right, there's no red marker. Yeah, and I got a comment from Martin who said that when this moves from here to here, it stops here. This is where it actually starts, I think. So that's the first place it goes, then it goes there, and I assume it starts then going, I don't know how it goes along, to be honest. We'll find out. But that is a bit for it to start. So, but I'm wondering here, it looks like the escorts can't exit because there's no red number under this. You can see there is there. So I think if I was here right now, we could roll a 10 or greater and the escort marker would go away. That's my thinking there. I'll have a look at the rule book though, I think. Yeah, see it says one of the red numbers. Sometimes there's more than one red number, right? Right, let me look at the rules for this. Right, so escort exit. Check escort station marker on the interception map, if any, to see if it reduces or is removed from play. Roll a die for each escort station marker and compare the number rolled to the red number printed in the raid marker space on the raid track. Which number? Have I got this wrong then? Because there's no red number where that raid marker is sitting. Hang on, does it? There. Just read on, Grant. Yeah, doing my usual there. Just not fully reading it. So I thought which number, and then it's going to look at which number. But if we look further down, so I'll read through this. Use the number corresponding to the escort type, 109 or 110. If there is only one number, it applies to 109s. So looking up there. Yeah, it just says use the corresponding number to the escort type, 109 or 110, but it doesn't tell you which one's which, unless it just means in that order, 109, 110. It's a kind of lighter kind of number. I don't know. Anyway, the next bit is the important bit to us. It says, if there are no numbers, do not make this check at all. The ME109 had a more limited range than the 110, so there is a greater chance of a 109 escort station marker becoming reduced or exiting. This is also true during entropy. Right, we don't have any numbers. So just having a closer look at this, there's no numbers where this red marker is, and I think this is still in the right place. If it was up there, there's only one number, that represents just 109s. If there's only one number, if we were then in here, there's a 10 and an 11, so my take is it's a 109s on a 10, and it's 11 for the 110s. And the reason I suppose I conclude that, well, it words at 109 and 110, so I'm looking at that order respectively, eh? But then it also says the ME109 had a more limited range than the 110, so there's a greater chance of a 109 escort station marker becoming reduced or exiting. So you can see that the number on the left is you've got a better chance of the 109s going away, the number on the left coming up, than the number on the right. Yeah? So yeah, we don't do this then. And if it was equal to or higher than the red number, yeah, coming back down to the card. If it's equal to or higher than the red number on the track, a heavy escort station marker becomes white. If it's already white, it is removed. If the number rolled is less than the red number on the track, there's no effect. Right, and we didn't have a number on the track. So, is that something else that's missing from this card? Maybe not. Like I say, it's not meant to cover every single rule. I mean, it does talk about your roll, and you compare it to the red numbers printed on in the red box. Well, there's no red numbers. I don't know, maybe it looks like there's space that something could have been added there, but yeah, picky. Right, so escort exit, so that's just done with that. So now the next one should be channel patrol, which I've got little knowledge of what happens here. Let's see. If the red marker is in a space with a channel patrol number, and there it shows you the example of a channel patrol number. So it's the black number in the top right corner. Make a channel patrol check. I'm not going to read into this then just now because I just want to play the game a bit more. So let's just say that we don't have that black number where we're sitting. You're not going to get it there. You're going to get it here. I don't know when we go. Looks like we go that way, and then you think we go back to there maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. Sorry, I'm maybe not showing you that. But the black numbers in the right hand corners are these channel patrol numbers. If the number rolled is equal to or higher than the channel patrol number on the track, draw a Luftwaffe advantage card and apply it to an area, fighter or section. This triggers a dogfight. Number rolled is less than the number on the track, there's no effect. Right, well, I've not had any experience with this channel patrol thing. But we're not on the red marker's not in a space with a black number, so. Doesn't tell you. Draw a Luftwaffe advantage card and apply it to an area, fighter or section. Doesn't differentiate, but I want to say when you're picking things, there's a way. I know there's random. In fact, if you look up the top, is there not random numbers? I thought there was. I thought there was some kind of number to differentiate between which section you were picking. Not really seeing that. Yeah, I think you would have to randomise. I want to say though that it might target certain things first. Like we've got lost contact stuff and not lost contact stuff. You could have individual fighters or sections. Which would it go for first? It just says choose randomly. Actually, the very last sentence. Again, I'm not finishing off reading. Yeah, it says choose randomly. I thought I'd came across a bit that might just be certain bits that it wants to select them in a certain order. That just says randomly. Yeah, there it's there. There's the number. See, under that section number, that's 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 5 to 9, and then 10 to 12. So that would you would roll a die to select, and that would then select your section. Then you would roll a die to select if you had, well, no, it would just be the section then, wouldn't it? Really? Okay. Well, there's no channel patrol thing to deal with anyway, because we're not. As the game ticks along, once that raid marker starts moving a bit, so we can move on. Right, next bit should be. Right, next bit's reform as well then. Reform lost contact. Okay, so this says flight on the interception map, two sections of the same position and altitude may combine into flight. Both sections spend one fuel. So it's the same, so this is another time you can do this reform. Well, we've nothing to reform. Section lost contact RAF fighters may join their section if two, they're lost contact as well, yeah. And then ad hoc section, 2 or 3 lost contact RAF fighters from different sections may form a section of their own. One of them must be a veteran pilot. That's red 3. What I was wondering there is that, I mean, these aren't lost contact anymore, are they? Just wonder if these could have joined up, but I don't think so. It does say lost contact. Yeah. So basically they could come from different sections, but you would need a veteran pilot to be able to do this. And then use a grey or black fuel cube to track this new section's fuel status. Okay, well, I think that's more well, I'm not saying it'll not come up at all, that, but right, so we've nothing to reform because they're all fine as they are, and these two guys are not lost contact, so they just need to make out as they are. Right, next card is the Raid Vector. Okay, is that right? That was card 26. 27A. Right, this is all all this stuff is kind of new to me. So reveal vector markers in the raid marker space one at a time. Apply them until space is empty of vector markers. Okay, well that's making me wonder if this was placed in the right bit, because there's nothing here. Well, let's just read on. If the space is already empty, move the raid marker to the next space on the track and then... okay, that's fine then. It's good. Again, just read on about Grant. So we're going to... The space is empty, so we're going to move the raid marker to the next space on the track and then resolve the vector markers in its new space. If the raid marker is already in the last space on the outbound row of the track, that's not the case. If the raid marker is already in the last space of the outbound row, the track and any fighter is also engaged. Well, it's not in the last space. It's not in the last space, so we move it along and we start resolving these new vector markers. So it goes along to there. So what happens? Does it keep going along to there? You know what? You know when it'll move? If we draw one of these and it's got the raid symbol in it, I think that's when it moves up into there. That's my thinking of it. Right, we'll see. So we're going to resolve each one of these one at a time. So let's do that. So the first one, actually we've got to go top to, well, that's just the one that says straggler. So straggler, right, let's find what that is. Right, there is a bit on the player aid for this straggler, but I thought I'd prefer to read this in the rules, get a bit more detail here. This is on page 53, straggler. Place a lone bomber marker in the lost contact area. The bomber type should match those in the bomber formation area if their type has not yet been determined, select randomly. So it would be a Stuka. One section or one independent RAF fighter that has lost contact may attack it immediately. If a section spends one fuel, if this result happens during the RAID vector sequence, which it is, you may assign one or more sections to attack it. They do not need to be lost contact, but they must spend 1 fuel. Unless lost contact, you may not assign a lone RAF fighter to attack the straggler. Unless lost contact. Okay. If this result happens during the RAID vector sequence, you may assign one or more sections to attack it. They do not need to be lost contact, must spend 1 fuel. Unless lost contact, you may not assign a lone RAF fighter to attack the straggler. Okay. Straggler is effectively a bomber formation area located within the lost contact area. Sorry, I'm maybe not showing you that, but stretch right down the bottom of the table here. Yeah, it's located within the lost contact area. Once their fighters attack independently, not as a section. Yeah, fair enough. I understand that. It's the same as a bomber section. Once you move into the bomber section, you don't fight it as a section anymore. It's each individual aircraft that does the fighting. Yeah, just looking at some of these examples. I maybe should have a reread up on this. I mean, I have read through this, don't get me wrong. It's just I've not really done any gameplay with it. So, no attack. If you do not assign a section or RAF fighter to attack the bomber, immediately remove the bomber marker from play. So it looks like this is an option. No attack. If you do not assign a section or RAF fighter, so you would remove it. It does say you actually place it. One section or one independent contact may. There's the word may there, so it may attack it immediately. So this is an optional thing. I mean, what good does it do us? I don't think we should be spending fuel and going after this. I think we should stay focused on trying to get in amongst the Stukas. What's our what was I going to say? What's our objectives, if you like? Does it tell you? Does it give you skirmishing over the channel? Campaigns. Outcomes. Yeah, tally the victory points earned in each patrol. Use a squadron log for this at the conclusion of a chapter's last patrol. So then you've got a VP chart with a summary. The summary says 1 victory point each bomber destroyed. 1 victory point each bomber tile isolated while raid is inbound. That's why we're going through these inbound vector markers. Yeah. 1 victory point every 4 Luftwaffe fighters destroyed. We've not done any of these things as of yet. So, I mean, I suppose it's giving us a bomber to go after. Hey, maybe we should. Because, it does say we don't have to use lost contact if, what does it say? If this result happens during the RAID vector sequence, you may assign one or more sections to attack it. They do not need to be lost contact, but they must spend 1 fuel. But I mean, these are lost contact. Couldn't we spend 1 fuel and go after this? Yeah, why not? Okay, so I'm gonna spend 1 fuel for red. Hey, now. See the fact that the section's only got 2 aircraft in it and the other aircraft's on its own? How does that work? And the other thing is, you may assign 1 or more sections to attack it. 1 or more sections. That doesn't say individual fighters, Grant. And I think individual fighters need to be lost contact anyway. Okay. Yeah, it's just, I suppose, just the fact I'm spending a point of fuel here for these 2 aircraft, and we've also got 1 aircraft here. So, I'm not quite sure if that's relevant or not. So I'm going to spend the 1 fuel then. Yeah, I mean, this might be silly. I didn't think I was going to do it at first. So we're now going to place, so we need, where are they about? I need a Stuka. Is that one? That looks like that. Yeah. So it's going in the lost contact area, but we're going to have a battle against it anyway. So at least that's getting to do something, aren't we? So I'm just going to bring it down here. And although, so there it's there. How do we get to... Straggler is effectively a bomber formation area located within the lost contact area. Once there are fighters attack independently, not as a section. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to bring the 2 red aircraft down, right? And now they're in this little separate area, lost contact area, where this straggler has appeared, this Stuka. And we've got our 2 Hurricanes here. So I suppose this will give us a look at... Well, we're about to go through this soon anyway with these other guys up there. But so we're going to move to the bomber cycle now, yeah? Straggler. Oh, Straggler continued. Ooh, right. Bomber rounds. Immediately play bomber... Yeah, I didn't read that. Sorry. Hang on. We might as well go through this. If just in case I don't want to do it, to be honest. I didn't realise there was more to come. So it says bomber rounds. Immediately play bomber rounds one after the other until the lone bomber is destroyed or the attacking fighters are out of ammo or in fate boxes. Surviving RAF fighters... Surviving RAF fighters return to base. They may not rejoin the squadron. They must return to base. Round 1 approach. In the initial bomber round, RAF fighters may approach from any angle. Ignore penalties for nose, low and tail approaches. After each bomber round, draw an escort reaction card. But ignore everything on it except Cloud's escape number and the ambush icon. Ugh. Right, I think I'm changing my mind here. I don't think I want to go through all this. I thought we were just going to be able to fight this. Yeah, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to get that fuel point back. Yeah, I don't feel like it's... I mean, they're going to return to base. They've got a chance of getting ambushed. I mean, yeah, I think the same things are going to happen to anything they're fighting that comes... The attacking bombers, but why put these individual ones? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to leave that. So that was an optional thing, so we're just going to skip by that. So I'm just going to chuck that to the side. Again, I don't think there's any need for them to be left anywhere. So we're going to look at the next one. There's 4 in this pile. So, right. So what we got this time, right? That looks like flak, and that is the raid icon. Okay, so where's flak here? Flak. There's quite a bit in this as well. Yeah, well, I need to do these in that order as well. I did say that top to bottom. I do have that the right way around, don't I? Yeah. Right, so here's the flak. Note the number printed on the marker and draw that many damage markers, her side up. Right. Okay, these are damage markers. Her side up. Her just shortened for hurricane, and I think the other side says spit or something like that. The number is 2, so we're going to draw 2, her side up, and check for catastrophic effect, if any. You do not earn victory points if the bomber is destroyed by flak. Right, hang on here. Right, just read it through, Grant. Place them randomly on bombers, one marker per tile, selecting the largest contiguous set of bomber tiles. Place one damage marker per tile, starting with the tile with the fewest fallen, destroyed, and damage markers. If more markers than tiles, distribute as evenly and scattered as possible. Okay. Check for catastrophic effect, if any. Yeah, okay, we're going to check for catastrophic effect. Right, I'm going to draw two damage markers, right? Well, I haven't seen any of these yet. These are the markers that these are hitting the bombers. This is the flak. Now, friendly fire. Ugh. Yeah, we're going to get hit with friendly fire, aren't we? Oh man. Right. So there, like I say, there's a Spitfire side. It's got spit on it, but we've to use the her side, slightly lighter colour as well. So that's a wing damage, and one more, and it's not catastrophic, that, and that's another wing damage. So two wing damage markers, right? These are to be placed. Place them randomly on bombers, one marker per tile. Selecting the largest contiguous set of bomber tiles. Well, they've not been moved about yet at all, so they're all connected, so they're all the largest. So, starting with the tile the fewest, yeah, I just need to randomise this, I think. So we can, yeah, in fact, I'm just going to do this die roll off camera. So, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? To see which tile I've got a 1. So it's going to be this tile, and then within that tile, and remember we've got two hit markers. So this is for the first one. So this is going to be 1 to 4, 5 to 9, 5 to 8, and 9 to 12. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm rolling a d12 and I'm trying to divide it up there. Right, I rolled a 2. So it's going to be this guy. So he gets the first wing damage. Right, now that tile's not considered for the next one, is it? Place some random bombers. One marker per tile. One marker per tile, yeah. So it can't go in the rest. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'll re-roll. Roll the 2 again, so it's going to be this one, and again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4, so it's going to be the first one again. Right. So that's both of that dealt with. Okay, but I think there's bad things to come because we are in the bomber formation area. So, and there's some friendly fire to be dealt with. Because there's flak coming up, we're there. Fair enough. These flak guns, I think they did hit friendlies, didn't they? Probably more times than they'd like to have had, but anyway. Tile the fewest, yeah. Distribute as evenly and scattered as possible. I think that's right, the way I've done it. I mean, yeah, I think so. Right, no bomber tiles. If there are no tiles in the bomber formation area yet, place the damage markers on the intersection map, and later on when you place the bombers, you would put them damage markers on. But they are there. Right, here's the bad bit then. Friendly fire. Okay, just looking ahead to that tally ho bit, but hang on. Friendly fire. If any area fighter is in the bomber formation area, place an equal number of hit markers randomly on area fighters there, but no more than 1 marker per fighter. Ugh. Perform hit checks, so we do that right away. Oh man, that's rough. Okay, well, we've just got to deal with that, I suppose. Right, so I'm going to draw a hit marker for blue 2 first, and then for red 3, so Yeah, it shows you that in this example here as well. So 1 for blue 2, it's a 7 fuselage, not great. And then the one for red 3, hoping for something better. Oh man, it's worse. It's a 9, isn't it? Jeez, just after getting these guys in here, there's a chance they're both going to be going away. That'd be harsh. Right, so now I've got to resolve these right away, I think. It says perform hit checks. And references me to page 23, but we know how to do the hit checks. So 2 damage markers, 2 markers are drawn to the cut randomly assigned first. Yeah, I assume I've just got to deal with these right now. Okay, so I'm going to roll for the 7 first. Hang on, I'm going to do it over here. So we need a 7 or less for blue 2. Come on. Sorry. No, we need a 7 or more, sorry. We need a 7 or more. Come on. Ugh. Right, so he's gone, and then 9. So 9 or greater for the other one. Yes. Right, at least we've still got him there. So this one becomes trivial. Actually, that's the one. The other one was the one that had low ammo as well. So, and then this one goes to the fuselage, and that can just come off. The fuselage fate box. Join one of his buddies there. So we've now got 5 aircraft in the fate boxes. Right, this guy survived that. Right, let's carry on this tally ho bit. Raid vector sequence. If the raid marker is on the raid track, you may spend 1 fuel to immediately perform contact. Slide the squadron's fuel cubes 1 space to the right. The squadron must be high altitude to make contact. If you prefer not to perform contact or can, or if the raid marker is not yet on the raid track, you may spend 1 fuel to move the squadron formation marker to an adjacent station or change altitude, not both. To an adjacent station. Don't like the use of that word. That sort of suggests, I thought stations were the escort stations. I'm assuming it's meaning move it to another location. I don't know what you call it. Yellow's sitting at trailing right now, move it to the port or something like that. I don't know if this, we've got contact anyway. If you prefer to not to perform contact or can, or if the raid marker is not yet on the raid track, you may spend 1 fuel to move the squadron formation marker to an adjacent station or change altitude, not both. Tally ho raid. If you perform contact and the flak icon is on the same marker as the raid icon, and above the raid icon, which means flak is applied before raid, postpone applying the raid result until the raid vector step of the interception sequence. Ooh my. That's the first bit that's went over the top of my head anyway. Postpone applying the raid result until the raid vector step of the interception sequence. Right, I think I'm just going to ignore this. I don't mean it's a may, it's an optional thing, so I don't think I'm going to do any of that. The one bit, I suppose it's quite encouraging to think I could move to a high altitude here though. That's the thing. I could spend a fuel for yellow there, which they've got the most fuel left to move. I can't go move and change altitude, can I? To move marker to an adjacent station. Oh, it's an adjacent station. Or change altitude, not both. So I could go, right. I think what that's meaning is I could move this from trailing. What is considered adjacent here though? Tail looks like it's adjacent, but is port adjacent? probably not. I think it would have to be there. And then that would be adjacent to that. That would be adjacent. That would be adjacent. If you prefer not to perform contact or can, you may spend 1 fuel to move the squadron formation marker to an adjacent station or change altitude. I mean, I suppose I could do that with the green one as well, couldn't I? I'm going to take these blocks off this. I don't even think these should be here either anymore anyway. My guess has been at high altitude is going to be better, isn't it? Right, I'm gonna spend 1 fuel then to put this at high altitude for yellow. I'm not 100% sure if all that's right. I'm going to go with it though. Tally ho. And then if you perform contact and the flag icon is on the same marker, postpone applying the RAID result until the RAID vector step of the interception sequence. Well, actually, we're not performing contact anyway, so that's not going to apply. No. Okay. I'll go with that. Let me know if I'm getting that bit wrong and that wasn't. And also, when it says adjacent, if I wanted to move adjacent, is my only option there would be tail, or is that considered adjacent? I suppose I'm going to think that's adjacent, then that's adjacent to port and starboard, and then port's adjacent to nose, and starboard would be adjacent to nose as well. Let me know if we get that right, and then if this is completely wrong, maybe we can stop it before it matters. Okay, is that the flak dealt with then? That was pretty bad, wasn't it? I mean, okay, we got a couple of hits on a couple of the Stukas, but nothing, not brilliant hits either. Oh, and yeah, just while we're there, quick look at, and this is on the map, which I'm kind of glad about, because I didn't have the map open a lot of the time and I was messing about with things. To destroy a Stukas that we're after here, so 3 of any hit marker will destroy a Stuka, or 1 cockpit hit marker, or only 1 engine hit marker. Sorry, not hit markers, these are damage markers, they're called, for the bombers. So 3 of any, 1 cockpit, 1 engine. You can see that these are, all the rest of these are 4s, because these are medium bombers. Any 1 cockpit hit, I'm assuming there's not very many cockpit damage chits in the cup. Because 1 of them outright destroys the bomber no matter what. And you can see the Dornier needs 3 engines, Junker 2 engines, and the Heinkel 2 engines as well. There is a way on automatically that the engine automatically falls out of formation, and you can get a catastrophic result as well, which we'll get to. Right, back to, well, right now we're on to this 58 minutes. Now we're moving the RAID marker, I think, because that was just resolving that plaque. Okay, what's on the next page? Let's quickly try and get through this. So that's no RAID marker. This is RAID marker. If the RAID marker is already on the RAID track, the bombers release ordnance. Oh dear, right. Move the RAID marker along the curving. No, this is really bad then, isn't it? If we've got this right away. So move the RAID marker along the curving arrow to the turn space. Remove all inbound vector markers from the track. Including this one. Cancelling its second icon if it has one. Well, no, because it is the second icon. Then randomly draw outbound vector markers and place 1 in each box of the outbound row of the RAID track. when the raid marker is moved to the turn space. Sorry, there's a full stop. When the raid marker is moved to the turn space on the raid track, move the sun marker to a new location, row die. Right, there's lots of things happening here then, isn't there? And then I just thought this was going to move a little bit. Okay, so coming up here and just reading off the book while I'm doing this. I think this was kind of unlucky then, wasn't it? And we were lucky to get the raid marker turning up first, and then kind of unlucky to get turning up so quickly again. But I don't know, maybe there's quite a few of these. Well, these are all going away now, aren't they? Yeah. The raid marker is already on the raid track, which it is. The bombers release ordnance. Right, sorry, that shouldn't be there. That should be here. We're resolving this. I don't think it matters now. Move the raid marker along the curving arrow to the turn space. And this is where Martin had said that is the turn space there. It says coast turn and it's got a red 10. So that moves to there. And it was in the coast, right? So that feels good. Then remove all inbound vector markers from the track, including this one, cancel the second icon. Right, all these are going away. I'm going to just have a little glance at how many of these raid. Right, there's another one. And I wasn't using them all. There's another one. So there is a few. Yeah, I think there was another. I think there was 3 there or something. So they're going to fit in there. Not so sure they are. But I think we're done with them anyway. Okay, so I've removed them. Then randomly draw outbound vector markers and place one in each box of the outbound row of the raid track. So this is the outbound, this was the inbound. So is it just these 3 boxes or is it them all? Well, let me get, where are they? Outbounds, right. Let me get these out and shuffle them about in the table here. Right, well there's 12 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, I've only got 12. Place one in each box of the outbound row of the raid track. When the raid marker is moved to the turn space on the raid track, move the sun marker. Right, okay. Right, I'm just looking, it does have examples here. So, raid result example. The player revealed the raid marker. Hang on, let's look at this. Right, so try and hold that down and get rid of that shadow. Raid result example. The player revealed the raid vector marker and resolved the flat result. So it was similar to this, although we had a 2 here. The squadron is at low altitude and could not tally ho. Squadron is at low altitude and could not tally ho. Yeah, it said you needed to be high altitude, but there was an option to change the altitude, wasn't there? Right, I'll leave that one at high altitude. If somebody points out to me, I can always take it away again. Forget it. Now the player must resolve the raid result. They move the raid marker cylinder to the turn space and then remove all the remaining raid vector markers from the inbound row of the track. So it was in the middle here. Right, it was in one of these spaces. Actually, it was in this one. You can see from there. It's in there, right? So then we remove all the rest of the inbound vector markers, which we've done, and then it moves up to this turn bit. Then it's placed outbound markers on only that row. It's not placed them on that row because I don't think it can go there anymore. So I think we're only going to, yeah, but it might. Well, I'm going to put 3 on here. I mean, there's not enough to fill them all up, so... Actually, I think I seem to recall that getting mentioned somewhere. Probably, like I say, most of the video footage I watched has been Tim's stuff, so it might have been him that mentioned it, about the fact that there's not enough to fill these out. Okay, then they populate the raid markers outbound row with new outbound raid markers. They draw them randomly. And then finally the player rolls the sun. Finally, player rolls a die to shift the sun marker in the location. Roll a 3, which moves it to the opposite flank. Okay, right. I'm going to just randomly pick 3 outbound markers and put them 1, so you can see that, 2, and then 3. I mean, it's quite possible that I should be populating these, but there's not enough to fill every one of them, so my guess is they maybe get refreshed or something. Come on, Grant, that's not in the same line, right? Dear me. Okay, so I'll leave the other outbound markers. I'll just put them back just now, and I can always bring them out later. I don't think it's going to matter. We're not going to, and then that should be in here. Right, and then the sun. Ooh, new sun location. Right, I'm just going to take this out of the book. I don't know if this is out on the map or something. It tells us here, new sun location is even or odd. The sun is, at the moment, the sun is at port, so it's on the flank. So if we roll even, it's going to the nose. If we roll odd, it's going to the other flank. The other flank would be better for us, I think. Right, anyway, I'm going to roll this. So, odd or even. I rolled odd. So, it was at the flank. Yeah, so we're at the port here, and we rolled odd. So no, so other flank. So it is going across to the starboard then. Starboard high. I'm saying it that was better for us, but we're at a low altitude anyway. We need to be. We're in the starboard here with this one, but we would need to be high altitude. Be better. We could have done that with that, couldn't we? We done it with this one. We didn't do it with that one. But I'm not sure if this is legal or not, to be honest. Okay, I better get this one wrapped up, so that's an hour and 7 minutes. Well, that completes that whole part, so now we're in a different sort of situation here. That was inbound. There was something about us. Yeah, in fact, hang on. Was that not what I just read about victory points? 1 victory point, each bomber tile isolated while raid is inbound. Well, the raid's not inbound anymore. I'm assuming it's it's on the turn space, but I don't think it's inbound anymore while it's there. It's clearly going to be outbound when it moves there. Whether it's still considered inbound while it's sitting there or not, I think you're trying to pull a fast one there, Grant. But that means that now if we isolate any of these bomber tiles, we're not going to score a victory point for them. That's my take on that. Okay. So, yeah, just to confirm, have we finished this card then? Move the raid marker to the next space, then reveal if it's already in outbound, if the raid marker is already in the last space. No, none of these applied. I think we've done this and then it's changed things up a bit here. That's just giving you an example. Well, actually, we go to card 31. It's probably the important one there. So 28 is Messersmiths, 29 is Raid Vector, Straggler. Yeah, I suppose we could have looked at all these. New trade, and then 31's a Raid Vector. So that's the one that we done. It could have told us about the flak in that as well. Flak in there as well. Yeah, it's the next one actually. But we've dealt with all that anyway. But that's the one I suppose that we were just finishing things off. So remove all inbound. Yeah. Randomly draw outbound. Place one in each box. Yeah. Done the sun. After effects are applied, the raid vector step is ended. go back to card 12 and restart the interception sequence. Right, so that's going to interrupt all this. We're going to go back to card 12. Oops. Back to card 12. Which is our orders. I suppose I should leave the rest of the cards like that. Right, yeah. 13 is going to be the next card. Yeah. So back to card 12 is orders, and let's just look at that on the queried. The sequence of play, just to see how that played out. So we were raid vector, move raid marker, and reveal raid vector markers. Yeah, so we've done that, and then it just says swirl again there, which brings us back up to orders. And now we're going to give orders again. We need to sign orders for these two, and see what we want to do with that. And then eventually we're going to get some of the bombers. Well, at least one fighter in it. It's not an awful lot, is it? Right. Okay, I'm going to cut this. I'm probably going to come pretty much straight back. I notice that's moved off. These should still be jointed. Yeah, I'm hoping to come straight back, I think. But I'll maybe copy this across first and take a short break. So I'll be back in a bit with the next part. Cheers.